Hello everyone, welcome back to FinStack Academy. I am Uday Churi, and in today's video, we're going to understand one of the most important technologies used by businesses around the world, ERP or Enterprise Resource Plan. But instead of starting with a textbook definition, let me tell you a simple story. Imagine you have started a company called ABC Electronics. Your business purchases laptops from suppliers, stores them in warehouses, sells them to customers, collects payments, pays employees, and prepares financial statements. As your business grows, you hire more people and create different departments like finance, procurement, sales, inventory, and HR. Now, here is the question. How do all these departments work together? How does sales know what inventory has in stock? How does finance know what procurement has purchased? How does management know what's happening across the business? That's exactly what we are going to learn today. By the end of this video, you will understand why businesses need ERP, how ERP solves real business problems, what ERP modules are, and why ERP systems are modular. Let's get started. Let's go back about 30 years. ABC Electronics is growing rapidly. Like every business, it now has different departments: finance, procurement, sales, inventory, human resources. Each department has skilled employees. Everyone understands their responsibilities. So, what is the problem? The problem is not the people. The problem is not the departments. The problem is that every department uses a different system. Finance maintains accounting records in one application. Sales has its own customer management system. Inventory tracks stock in another application. HR maintains employee records separately. Procurement manages suppliers in its own system. At first, everything seems to work fine. But now imagine this situation. A customer places an order for 100 laptops. Sales immediately confirms the order, but sales doesn't know that inventory has only 60 laptops available. Inventory now informs procurement. Procurement urgently places an order with a supplier. The supplier delivers the good and sends an invoice. Finance receives the invoice, but before making payment, finance has to call inventory and ask, have the goods actually been received? Inventory confirms. Only then finance process the payment. Meanwhile, the customer keeps asking, when will my order be delivered? Now think about this. Did sales make a mistake? No. Did procurement fail? No. Did finance do anything wrong? Not at all. Every department completed its own responsibility correctly. The real issue was they were not connected. Each department maintained its own information. There was no common database, no real time visibility, no single source of truth. This situation is known as departmental silos, and it was one of the biggest challenges businesses faced before ERP systems. So, how do we solve this problem? This is where ERP comes in. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Instead of every department maintaining separate systems, ERP provides one integrated platform for the entire organization. Let's revisit our example. Sales enters the customer order. Immediately, inventory knows stock has reduced. If additional stock is required, procurement knows it needs to purchase more. Once goods are received, finance can immediately process the supplier invoice. Management can monitor everything happening across the business through a single dashboard. No duplicate entries, no disconnected systems, no waiting for emails or Excel files. Everyone works on the same system using the same database. Whenever someone asks me what ERP is, I simply explain it in one sentence: one business, one system, one database. That's ERP. But here is another interesting question. If ERP is just one system, how does it manage finance, procurement, sales, inventory, HR, and many other business functions? The answer is simple. ERP is not one huge application. It is made up of multiple modules. Think of a module exactly like a department inside an organization. Just as every department performs a specific responsibility, every ERP module also performs a specific business function. Let's look at some of the most commonly used ERP modules. Let's start with financials. This area manages everything related to the company's finances. The first module is General Ledger, often called GL. Think of it as the heart of accounting. Eventually, every financial transaction recorded anywhere in the ERP reaches the general ledger. Next is accounts payable or AP. Whenever company purchases goods from suppliers, receives supplier invoices or makes payments, all these activities are managed in accounts payable. Then comes accounts receivable or AR. This works in the opposite direction. Instead of paying suppliers, this module helps the organization collect money from customers. It manages customer invoices, receipts, and outstanding balances. Next is assets. Whenever the business purchases long term assets like machinery, office furniture, computers, or vehicles, the asset module manages their complete life cycle from acquisition and capitalization to depreciation and retirement. Finally, we have cash management. This module helps monitor bank accounts, cash balances, receipt, payments, and bank reconciliations. Together, these modules manage the financial operations of the organization. Now, let's move to supply chain. This area manages the movement of goods. It starts with procurement. Procurement helps the organization purchase goods and services from suppliers. Once those goods arrive, they are received into inventory. Inventory keeps track of stock quantities, warehouse locations, and every movement of materials. Finally comes order management. When customers place orders, this module manages the complete sales order process until the products are delivered. So, if you think about it, procurement buys, inventory stores, order management sells. That's the entire supply chain process in a nutshell. Similarly, we have human resources, which manages employee information, recruitment, talent development, and payroll processing. Although every module performs a different responsibility, they all work on one shared database. And that's what makes ERP truly integrated. Now, let me ask you another question. Do you think every business need all these modules? The answer is no. Think about a hospital. Does a hospital manufacture products? Of course not. So why should it implement a manufacturing module? It should not. Now think about a trading company. It mainly purchases, stores, and sells product. So modules like procurement, inventory, sales, and finance are sufficient. A manufacturing company is different. Apart from these modules, it also need manufacturing, quality and maintenance because it actually produces product. That's why ERP systems follow a modular approach. Organizations implement only the modules they need based on their business requirements. And here is something important. This is not a one-time decision. As business grow, they can simply add more modules without replacing the entire ERP system. ERP grows along with the business. That's one of its biggest strengths. Now, you might be wondering who develops ERP software. Today, there are many ERP vendors in the market. Some of the leading ERP solutions include Oracle Fusion Cloud ERP, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, Workday, Zoho ERP, Tally, Ramco, Sage Intact, Epicor, and many others. Although these products are developed by different companies, their objective remains exactly the same to integrate business operations on a single platform. Let's quickly recap today's story. We started with ABC Electronics, where every department worked independently using different systems. Although each department performed its own job correctly, the lack of integration created communication gaps, duplicate data, and delayed decision making. ERP solved these challenges by bringing people, processes, and data onto one integrated platform with one centralized database. We also learned that ERP is made up of different modules, each responsible for a specific business function. And because every business is unique, organizations can implement only the modules they need and expand as they grow. So, if there is one takeaway from today's session, let it be this: one business, one system, and one database. That's the true essence of ERP. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to FinStack Academy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next session.